Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and shocker, Geeky Sparkles is here with me today.
Hello.
She's not doing very good.
I cannot talk, so there will be no yelling.
But she does want to sit in on this video. This is interesting. There was a study that was conducted studying female gamers and what they preferred to play as a female gamer, and it turns out that they don't like ugly chicks. They don't want to.
Shocker.
They don't want to play as an ugly character. They don't want to be a dump truck.
I never, like, the logic behind this always got me. I mean, if I played a character, I didn't want the ugly character. I didn't understand why that they keep doing this. A lot of women I talk to when they play games, they would pick the pretty girly character. You know, it's like a guy. If they're playing a game, there's different characters. They're unlikely to pick the, beer belly, middle-aged fat guy character or like the scrawny character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a game. It's entertainment. You're gonna pick whatever one you want to play as. You wish you could be.
It's interesting because this is a subreddit. This is Girl Gamers from a year ago, and they're complaining about women being uglier too. Now, what's interesting is they went into this study. As I understand it, I think there was a bias. They were basically trying to prove that female gamers actually didn't mind or actually appreciated realistic, quote unquote, realistic looking women.
Those women aren't realistic looking.
No, they've actually gone.
A couple of them are, but most of them aren't.
They've gone out of their way to make some of them as unattractive as possible.
That one in the middle, especially.
Yeah, and of course they even took Mary Jane. They made her look like she was 15 years older than she was.
Yeah, she just looks like she's like 50.
And but yeah, it kind of blew up in their faces because they're like, well, women just overall don't like characters being sexualized, but if given the choice, they're going to pick the sexy character for themselves. Isn't that weird?
No, it's not weird. It's actually what I expected.
So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Can you give a woohoo?
Woohoo!
We'll take it. We'll take it. People have been missing your woohoos.
I'm trying very hard not to cough.
People just told me I should quit without you. Wasn't a lot of people, but just a couple people are like,
no, we don't want that.
She's a lot of fun. You had a week to yourself.
Now it wasn't a week, but you might get a week because I'm not getting any better.
I know it sucks. This is whatever this is. It's like some viral bacterial crud stuff.
Anyway, speaking of viral bacterial crud, let's talk about the video game industry and the way they treat women.
Yeah. So this is coming from SciPost. New research on female game characters uncovers a surprising twist.
It's not surprising. If you've talked to female gamers at all, it's not a surprising twist.
Female gamers prefer playing as highly sexualized characters despite disliking them. So they had to get that in there. They don't dislike them very much then, do they?
No, it's not even about the highly sexualized. Just that, they're pretty or girly characters. And a lot of times people don't, like if you were having a character running around a G-string, I probably wouldn't pick that one because I think that's a little bit much. But if it's a reasonable amount of clothing and a decent looking character, and especially if it's cutesy, I'm going to be like picking that one all day long. And if she can kick ass too, that's even better. The
strong female characters often were a combination of brawn, brains, and boobs.
Yeah, but I'm thinking even like, you had Chun-Li and you had like Cammy and stuff. They look good. They didn't look too over the top.
No, they were athletic. Well, no, they had a problem with Cammy. I guess they had to change her because she had a thong.
Okay, well, other than the thong part, but
Yeah. Anyway,
I used to play her all the time.
You did. Can a strong female character who's highly sexualized inspire positive perceptions from players? Not necessarily, but you read the study, you read the article, and it turns out that they actually shoot themselves in the foot. Like I said, I think they went into it thinking that women were going to reject sexy characters, and they don't.
The fact that they even posted it and then just try to bury it is what gets me. It shocks me.
Researchers found that while strength in female video game characters might signal capability, it doesn't counterbalance the negative impact of sexualization. But in a surprising twist, female participants, despite generally disliking sexualized characters, were more likely to choose these characters when given the option to play as one. That doesn't make any fucking sense. No, you went into it. I'm telling you what happened. They went into it. Academia went into it to be like, look, the reason we're making all the women ugly in video games is because women don't want to see, they want to see themselves in games. They don't want these perfect women that they can't possibly be. But then when they actually got women to play.
But then they make the other ones really, really ugly. And it's like, most of them don't look that bad either.
Shut up, you like ugly women. This reminds me of with Doctor Who, when they announced Jodie Whittaker. And we had one of the showrunners or producers of Doctor Who at, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con. And she lectured the audience. The audience was like, oh, we always liked it, when the Doctor had the young female companion and there was like romantic tension, whatever. That was, New Who. That was old Doctor Who. He didn't do anything. But New Who, it was, definitely like David Tennant, Matt Smith. And she lectured the audience. She's like, no. You don't want to be the Doctor's companion. You want to be the Doctor. And they were like, no. We actually kind of fantasize about being the Doctor's companion. That's kind of a thing. And she's like, no, shut up. I know better than you do, audience. Mm-hmm. I know better than you do. And that's kind of the attitude here. Like, women hate attractive characters, so let's give them some fuglies to play as.
I'll translate. A few of the activist women and the development people that, were women don't like attractive female characters because it's like against their sensibilities or because they feel like they're too pretty and that somehow intimidates them. Because they're probably not. So as a result, we have to make ugly characters and say you speak for all women when you don't. And you don't by a landslide. Because a lot of women, when you talk to them, they don't like the character designs either. It's a simple matter of just going out and asking. If you'd just done, A/B testing and asked people, they would have told you it was ridiculous. But you probably did. You probably got told it was ridiculous and you did it anyway.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a study. I believe they're trying to do a study to show that they're correct. That, hey, the last, 5-10 years of video games where we've nerfed all these sexy female characters, we were in the right, guys, because we know. And then it's like, oh shit, no,
because all these games get destroyed, and they're trying to say that it's the toxic man, the men babies and stuff, and it's like, but women didn't play either because they didn't want to play your shit either. You're making it for them, but you're not making it for them.
So why did they do this? This is coming from the Ohio State University communication technology assistant professor in Chronos Lab, something, Teresa Lynch.
What's Teresa Lynch look like? Do we know?
She actually looks like a game character.
I was thinking that,
Like, I'm sorry. I expected her. I'll be honest. I actually thought Teresa Lynch was going to look like, the
one in the middle.
Obese, blue-haired. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, she says it's important to understand how gender socialization prejudice like sexism inform video game development and player experiences. Sexism pervades gaming. For example, game content overwhelmingly features male characters to the exclusion of central female or gender minoritized characters. Well, they had a game that was nothing but, and it was called Concord, and it failed.
Wait, but let's start. The larger demographic for playing games is usually dudes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's just like Star Wars. It doesn't mean it's all men, but the majority are men. And that's kind of what it is. For right or wrong, that's what it is. All right. And, sometimes women like to play those characters too, And there's guys that like to play girl characters. Why do you keep assuming that just because you're a man, you want to play only male characters, or because you're a woman, you only play female characters? That's ridiculous.
She really is off base here for an academic. Games that do feature female or gender minoritized characters often unfavorably stereotype and objectify these groups.
Not lately. In online gaming experiences, men and boys target women, girls, and gender minoritized individuals with sexist and harassing communications. Now, okay, to be fair, though, that does happen a lot. I mean, people are gonna get pissed at me. I don't care. You can, it does. I know people that are girls that game, and if they don't turn their mics on, or if they, they'll use a name that doesn't say scream woman, and if they turn their mics on, usually they say one thing, and then they'll start get in the kitchen, you bitch, effing bitch, and stuff like that. And I've seen it. I've been there when they did it. So yes, it does happen. And it's even more fun when the girl kicks their ass and it's like, what did the one person say? But saying it doesn't exist isn't true, because it does. I've seen it firsthand. It does exist. I don't know why it is, but as soon as you turn that mic on and you're a girl, you get, now not always, like our daughter runs into it. So certain games she can play and she doesn't get harassed. Other games she does. But as soon as you turn the mic on, you either get people, calling you names, usually something about, some degrading female comment. If you get that. If you don't get that, you're lucky. The other one is they try to date you. It's either one or the other. But
I remember our son. I mean, we're going off on a side tangent here, but he was actually getting, because his one friend they played with was a girl, and apparently some other like 11-year-old on PlayStation Network had the hots for this girl, and he was going to come to our house and beat him up or something. It was so. And
he wasn't even. He was just a friend. He wasn't even into her.
Yeah.
They were literally friends. But it's just like, it's not always the case. And a lot. There are games you can play that doesn't happen. But there's a lot of games you play that this happens. I've seen it firsthand. So it does happen. Does that all the time? No. Does that have anything to do with playing characters that don't look like, that look ugly and stuff? No, it has nothing to do with that. Other than the fact that you're mad because we're more authentic representation of women should be ugly women. So you're trying to imply that most women are ugly.
So this is this academic again. She said, I want to know more about why, when, and how these kinds of outcomes happen. At the same time, many women and girls and people who identify outside of the binary enjoy gaming a great deal. I count myself among them. Understanding why these people enjoy games in spite of, or even because of, these challenges sexism presents in gaming is fascinating to me. This study is one part of answering those big questions.
Why does she still play it and like it if they harass her?
Yeah, right.
Then ask yourself, why do you still like it?
So there are controlled experiments. Now, here's the thing. This seems very...
you can control the controlled.
And the fact that she came out and said she wasn't like, I want to see if there actually is sexism in gaming. She's like, there is. And I'm going to help with the study to make sure that, I prove my point. And then it actually became
when it comes to harassing girl players, it does exist. That I can tell you for sure.
The researchers conducted 2 controlled experiments to investigate how different design elements influence perceptions of female video game characters. Each experiment used unique character designs created in the fighting game Soul Calibur 6, providing participants with a range of female characters that varied systematically in their sexualization and strength cues. So there were 239 undergrad students from the communications program. The majority are female.
Okay, first of all, throw this whole thing out anyway. Because
this is
you
stupid.
didn't go find people across, let's age 18 to 51. Okay, your age range is good. But why are they all students from, because that's what you have access to. But you need people, a bunch of women across the board. You need like thousands of women across the board, all different, from different backgrounds, not just your college and your communications program. People who play games casually, people who are more gamers. You need it across the board so you can get a much wider pool to go from. Right from the beginning, you're already kind of, making sure you're trying to, they're making sure it kind of goes the way they want, and it still didn't, which is funny to me.
Yeah.
But you're already trying to stack it.
Let's get nothing but gender studies people who I'm going to say people, gender studies people, persons, folks, gender studies folks who don't play video games and just let them watch videos and see what they think about these games they're never going to play, they're never going to touch. But they actually did that. They actually ran video clips of the game and had them rate that, and then they let them choose a character and they all picked the hot women. So that's what's funny about
Did
this.
the hot women have were they stronger characters?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
They were more attractive, right? So yeah, these are women and non-binary folks. Ages vary from 18 to 51. They're generally younger.
They're just those who identify as female. Half them might have been, trans women.
Right.
If it's a college and communications program.
The researchers created 4 distinct types of female characters. Each character was customized to represent one of 4 combinations of sexualization and strength. High sexualization had high strength, high sexualization with low strength, low sexualization with high strength, low sexualization with low strength.
Now, how many of these participants like women?
That's a good question.
Because you're trying to say it's because of men, because of male gaze. Well, these people are, identify as female liking.
The female gaze like women too.
Of course they're going to pick the hotter characters.
Sure. They said to achieve the variations, the team manipulated the characters' visual traits. Characters designed with high sexualization had features associated with previous research on sexualized portrayals, big boobs, lower waist-to-hip ratio, and revealing clothing. Oh my God. Said participants watched 4 pre-recorded video clips, each featuring a different character type engaging in a short combat sequence. After viewing each clip, participants rated the characters across several dimensions, such as perceived sexualization, perceived strength, femininity, alignment with traditional feminine traits, and likability, how much participants would enjoy playing as the character. So they didn't actually play it. At the end of the viewing session, participants also completed a selection survey choosing which of the characters they would prefer to play. Now, what the hell is this? Wait. They said the results showed distinct patterns in how sexualization and strength cues shaped viewers' impressions of the characters. When a character combined high sexualization with high strength, participants perceived her as even more sexualized than the characters with high sexualization alone. Okay, I'm getting to the point here. I can't believe they said this. This outcome indicates that strength cues do not counteract the effects of sexualization, rather they amplify it. This pattern aligns with the fighting fuck toy theory.
Wait, what?
The fighting fuck toy theory, which suggests that strength paired with sex appeal can reinforce objectifying impressions. What?
They
Fighting
do know,
fuck toy theory. I've never.
do
Is that
understand,
like a scientific thing?
They do understand that these characters aren't real, right? And in the real world, you're not likely. You're gonna. There's some examples, I'm sure, but you're not likely going to find a highly sexualized, gorgeous character who can kick your ass like that, and do some of these moves and know how to do all these different, techniques. In reality, correct? So it's not likely to ever happen.
Okay, so if you want to get into the biology of it, the biology of it is that often attractive people are fit people, and biologically speaking, the reason that they are attractive to the opposite sex or even the same sex is reproduction. This person is fit and capable, and they would make good babies, and we can continue the species.
Translation, they're hot, I want to fuck it.
Yes, and make
Basically.
babies and continue the species, and they'll be stronger. I mean, that's just kind of
And pretty.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, this is like a biology
But see,
101.
the pretty is bad though. They'll be stronger and pretty, but that pretty's bad.
Well,
you need basically translation. I'm ugly. Guys won't date me. You need to screw the ugly women too. Basically,
I'm just saying if people associate strength.
and I'm not a super attractive woman. Don't get me wrong.
I think you're attractive.
Well, you're biased, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like, if people associate attractiveness with physical strength and whatever, there's a reason for that. If dudes are hot because they're muscular and they're cut, it's because they're from a purely biological evolutionary standpoint. It's because they're better suited to pass
They
on
also,
genes.
probably they work out.
Yeah,
they're athletic.
And they take care of themselves. You're like,
same with women.
Anyway, this is neither here nor there. I'm just saying there is a base animal reason why for all these things. But it comes off the rails because she was trying to prove, like, yes, see, women don't like sexualized characters. Gender differences and a surprising twist. Interestingly, the gender-based differences emerged in character preferences. Female participants generally disliked highly sexualized characters, but were more likely to choose characters with high femininity traits also associated with higher sexualization cues when given the choice.
So you would pick the girly girl character as opposed to the girl that was in thong.
Right.
But both of them were sexualized and cute. Okay.
Right. So now remember, these are communications college kids, right? Male participants gravitated toward characters that were strong, yet less sexualized, indicating different gender-based preferences in the interpretation of character traits.
Wait. But I thought the argument was guys are only going to pick the hot girls because they sexualize everything. You just said they pick strong, which would make sense, for logistically for a game. And they were yet less sexualized characters.
So Lynch here says, I wasn't surprised by the fact that the participants in our studies disliked the sexualized female characters. I think especially among younger generations who have grown up with social media and intuitively understand how media perpetuate impossible beauty standards, there's increasing scrutiny and critique around sexual objectification.
There's a difference though. You're talking about a video game character that's not real, as opposed to when they would do Photoshop on real life models and actors and stuff to make them look more attractive. They're actual real people. There's a difference. Game character, I know. Hey, that hot anthropomorphic character isn't going to be real.
Yeah, she said she was surprised though. She was surprised to see in our first study, women still selected the most sexualized character when asked which character they would choose to play.
Well, why is she all assuming it's just based on sexuality? Maybe it's about that they like the fight sequence better, or they thought it would be easier to control or something like that,
It's important to remember that this character was also rated as the most feminine, so it's possible.
I always pick feminine, girly characters. Yeah. That's me.
It's possible that women were just selecting the character they most identified with.
Were all the people identified women really, really cute? And feminine?
Probably. I'm thinking if it's they made the characters in Soul Calibur 6. I was thinking like Sophia, because she's actually traditionally attractive. She said this finding highlights why this research is important. If women are conflating sex appeal with femininity, can they disassociate those two concepts?
But I'm confused. I thought we were allowed to have sex appeal or femininity. I thought we were allowed to have either one of those things. I thought both those are bad. I thought if being, feminine and being, more traditional and things like that was a bad thing, and you're not feminist enough if you do those. I mean, I would conflate. Here's the issue. Women are being told by people like her or the media that they're supposed to enjoy characters that are fugly.
Yes.
They're supposed to be more boy-like, less feminine, because that's bad. Where I got told I was not feminist because I was married with kids. I wasn't feminist enough. You're told you have intersectional feminism and all this other crap telling you as women you're not allowed to like being feminine or traditional feminine stuff. And now you have here saying that the girls are picking traditionally feminine things, and that's what you're not surprised by. I'm like, which one is it? Because women get told to be all these different things at once. And then if you do what they tell you, then you're too girly and you're too trad wife and you're too all this. And then if you don't do it, well, then you're like half shaved head and you're too, far gone on the feminism angle. You can't win. And then they're like mad because girls will just pick the traditionally feminine characters.
Yeah, that's her that's the takeaway here. She said, if entertainment media like video games continues to portray female characters by emphasizing sex appeal, how does that shape expectations of women and women's value in society? Basically, I think she's angry. She's actually angry they picked the pretty girls. And, these are characters I would play in the game.
And the thing is, it's like, too, the sexualization thing, I'm also confused. I thought you were allowed to slut shame people, and you were allowed to tell women what they should and shouldn't wear as a woman or a dude, but you're also supposed to be against that for video games because it's sexualized.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
This is it's interesting because I think they went into this thinking it was going to go a different way. She said, in the long term, my lab group and I are trying to understand long-term effects of interactions with female characters in games. We're interested in understanding beyond initial impressions and looking at how distinct interactions with characters through story or varying modes of play might disrupt or strengthen effects. We're also interested in understanding the positive impact of female characters on players, not just the drawbacks or negative side. People play video games because they like them, oh my God, and find the experience entertaining, but also because they have meaningful experiences. We're exploring that side of things because it's all part of the same question. Then why are you trying to dissect
And the thing is, there's so many variables that they mentioned above that they don't have backstory and stuff. You don't know, a character might be somebody that's really relatable to people, or, you know, male or female. They might have a backstory people emphasize with the relate to, and they might feel more connected to that character. It has nothing to do with appearance. There's a lot to it. It's a lot more involved than who's wearing a thong and who's more traditionally feminine. And there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, and she admits that, but I honestly believe she went into, given the stuff she was saying, that she went into the study with clear bias, and she was going to prove that women like relatable, unattractive, everyday characters, and that did not go the way.
When you have like that picture, you had the group of women, female characters on it. Again, not the one you had there. Yeah, like the ones on the end, I don't think look that bad. Isn't the one like the new Laura Croft or something, and then the other one, I don't know who the other one is.
Yeah.
They kind of look a little masculine, but they don't look too terrible. Mary Jane looks, but she looks like she's like 40, some 50. The other two look terrible. I'm sorry. It just, it just depends on the level. And sometimes, too, in the game, maybe they don't look as bad as what the screen capture looks like, too.
Yeah,
but the ones on the end, I thought were more okay. They were okay. The ones on the ends, I thought weren't too terrible.
I mean, there's some pretty.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
they did that first girl dirty, so dirty.
They did.
Oh my God, the first row, the next to last one, he did her dirty. I still think that one girl from Horizon Zero Dawn looks like Jerry O'Connell's lost daughter. Kind of.
But again, you have to kind of see it in gameplay. But there is a trend, and there's a definite trend toward women looking less
there
feminine.
Definitely is. You can't say there isn't, because that's a lie.
And they're claiming it's because women don't want to play as attractive characters.
Well, then those games aren't performing well, are they?
They're not performing.
Exactly.
So obviously you need to throw this out and be like, but here's the thing. Why does it take a fucking study? All you have to do is look at the numbers. All you have to do is look at the sales numbers. Which games are selling? Which games are not selling? And you find a lot of commonality in the games that are not selling, these $200, $300, $400 million failures, and it is pushing academic agenda, DEI agendas, and people are just like, I just want a fucking game with fucking cool looking characters and badass weapons, and it's not broke when they ship it.
That MJ at the bottom, she looks like a man with a wig. It looks like a dude with a redhead wig. And that's what I don't understand too. Like, men are taking over gaming. Gaming's bad, guys. We can't have men, all the characters be male. So we're going to take the female characters and make them look like men with wigs on. So now they're men again, but they have wigs on now. So it's once again, just more men in the game.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry, but let's be honest. They either make them look really fucking ugly or they make them look like dudes.
Yeah, this is actually supposed to be.
Is that a woman?
That's
a man. I'm sorry.
That is the Amazon
That is a dude.
from the Diablo 2 remake, and the Diablo 2 remake originally the Amazon was pretty.
Case in point. My point proven.
That's actually one of the best examples.
Women don't have enough representation in games. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take women and we're gonna make them look like men. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It does if you see some of the people behind the game.
Well, I'm sure. Let's see them. Show us them. And then I can tell you why they're doing this. And then at the end of the day, I'm sorry, you can kick and scream all you want. I'm sure if you asked a wider pool of women from different walks of life, not just your communications department, and you ask them, and the same questions, show them the same videos, they're still going to pick the traditionally girly, feminine-looking characters.
Yep. If
I want you to play as a girl, why are you playing as a dude then? Oh, that's a girl. That's not a girl. That's a man.
That's a man.
It's a man.
Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah.
There you go, guys. You got your daily dose of geeky sparkles.
We won't get it again today because I'm barely hanging on for this one.
I'm sorry. Well, she wanted to be involved in this one because
so many outtakes because I keep coughing. Oh, look at that one. That one in the third row, right below where your arrow just was. What the hell? Go back. What the hell's up with that one? Move over. Right, go down. What the hell's up with that character? Is that a woman?
That's from Starfield. Is one of the NPCs. I think
that's supposed to be a woman.
I think
this is a '90s movie where the Wayland brothers dress up as women.
Yes, it is.
This is a In Living Color skit. That's what that is. That's an In Living Color skit as a character.
So let's wrap this up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.